With Dark Phoenix coming out this week, I'm continuing my X-Men reviews with X-Men Days of Future Past. But first, before I get on to the review, here's a little message. Before I go on, don't forget to smash that like button, smash that share button, and if you're new here, smash that subscribe button so you can watch more reviews like this one, and give a little tap to the gray bell icon for notifications on my latest uploads. Back to the review. X-Men Days of Future Past is, I think, the 7th installment of the X-Men franchise, if I'm not mistaken. In this film, it is a bleak future where Sentinels have been built that can hunt down mutants or people that could create mutants. And this has brought humanity down to its knees. And so the classic X-Men from the previous films all band together to try to stop the Sentinels once and for all, and they send Wolverine back to the 70s so that he can convince young Eric and young Charles to stop Mystique from ultimately causing this bleak Sentinel future. It's really weird, the relationship I have with these X-Men movies. I don't like some, I do like others, and I loved one of them. Well, I could definitely say that this is probably the best X-Men movie yet. Other than Logan, Days of Future Past is my favorite movie in the X-Men universe. This film is filled to the brim with creative action scenes, intensity that the X-Men movies have not had up to this point, some really great character development, some really funny humor, and overall, this is an X-Men movie. This has the best of all the worlds. The opening action sequence alone is incredible. There's some mutants that we haven't really seen yet, and some mutants that are pretty familiar to us, but all of them have some really great chances to shine. Hell, there's even this one mutant that I barely know anything about her, named Blink. She can make portals, and yet this shot is probably one of the best shots in the entire film. It's so freaking cool, man! There's enough practical elements in there for there to be, like, you know, a sense of reality, but there's also some really great CGI to bring these characters to life. Hugh Jackman is, once again, great as Wolverine, but you already knew that. Once again, James McAvoy gives a fantastic performance as Charles Xavier, and a very different Charles Xavier than we've seen. This time, after the events of First Class, he's very distraught and depressed, and it's honestly really good. They even have some allegories to drug addiction, and it's so good, especially since the experiences I've had with people that I know. It is a lot like that, and it's done so beautifully in this movie. Hell, there's even a scene where James McAvoy's Xavier and Michael Fassbender's Eric Lencher are talking on an airplane, and oh my god, it's so good! The drama feels so real, and these two are just giving it their all. The writing is fantastic, the directing and pacing is fantastic. And of course, you cannot talk about X-Men Days of Future Past without talking about Evan Peters as Quicksilver. Probably one of the coolest characters in this universe. Oh my god, his scene is amazing. The effects are unbelievable, and these are probably what led X-Men Days of Future Past to become the first movie in the X-Men universe to receive an Oscar nomination, and this category specifically was Best Visual Effects, which, yeah, that was a really deserving nomination. Hell, even Toad's better in this movie. Yeah, remember this dumbass from the first X-Men movie? Well, in the 70s, I guess he looked like that. That's really much better in my opinion. This version of Toad is so cool. And another thing that I love about X-Men Days of Future Past is the dynamic between older Charles and older Magneto. These two, like, you can feel the history between these two. And you know things have gotten really shitty when Magneto starts working with the X-Men. Like, it is so good, and you see the regret on his face over the years that they've wasted. Oh my god, there's a speech at the end of this movie that he has to older Charles, and oh my god, it's like, yes! Oh my god, this is so well earned! And the whole subtext of this movie, which really kind of sounds cheesy, but overall, it really works, is the themes of hope. Like, again, yeah, that sounds really stupid, but when you actually see it in the film, you know, hope for the future and all that stuff, and hoping for certain characters, it's just so well done. This really contends with Avengers Infinity War as to which one is my favorite superhero team-up movie. It's really hard to choose, in my opinion. So, like, I can't really give you a clear answer. All I can say is, yeah, X-Men Days of Future Past is utterly fan-freaking-tastic. I love every moment of it. The action is so good. The characters are so well fleshed out. This is an X-Men movie. This is the X-Men movie I've been waiting for. So, have you seen X-Men Days of Future Past? I hope you did, because I love it so much. Well, if you have, let me know in the comments below what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a like, share the video so that we can get the channel circulated. Don't forget to support my Patreon on my Patreon page, or if you can't do that, then consider supporting me through my PayPal donation button in the description below. And if you want to see more, click this.